his debut, Jarno Uppbeat wins at Spa.
It's Martinez in Montreal. David beats Goliath.
It's a true underdog story. John Evans wins at Mexico.
And it's Super Sam Corby who takes the PlayStation Championship.
FRA Ron Hart takes his first WOR Championship. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jake Benham is a two-time WOR champion.
Dobbin around the outside operated line shadow is contact again. Ron Hart is around.
Melanie surely is going to win here at Abu Dhabi. He does.
16 races across 5 continents. From Brazil to Belgium and Bahrain to Britain. Soon this story starts. Across 3 platforms, hundreds will begin the quest. The quest in search of glory and the right to be called a WOR champion. Lights out, and we're racing in Season 12.
Welcome, ladies and gents. We are finally back after a long waiting period of just basically me not being able to get the stream up because 1, laziness, 2, moving to a different location. But I am not going to be alone for the second stream of the Tier 10. No, I am joined finally for his debut commentary with Joe. Joe, it's great to have you. We've kind of been vibing on the side a little bit. How excited are you to being now officially an F1 commentator?
Hello everybody. Hi Hyper. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's my first time commentating. Looking forward to it. We've had 3 weeks of racing so far. This is my first time doing it. So yeah, we missed quite a bit. I know you obviously commentated the first week in Spa. You've missed the last couple, so I'm sure we're both eager to get back into it.
Absolutely, and of course you can see on your screens, Spa was quite a dramatic race, full of safety cars. I think we had 4 actual safety cars, and then I think maybe either 4 or 5 safety car related incidences, which did lead to crazy amount of drama. But the drama actually happened in Imola, which we were speaking about, if you can remember what we said. I don't know if his mic has gone missing, MIA or something, but essentially what happened in Imola was midway through the game, it decided to crash. And it was then deemed a red flag situation where the race would not continue, which is very unfortunate. Russia, bit more secure, bit more understanding, and it did lead to the current standings as it is. Basic Freak currently in joint top with Rambo in that Aston Martin, which did a brilliant job in the Spa race, even though he did not get any points. I look forward to him in the future. Then we got Fresh coming in as the designated Russian, gaining good amount of points, 12 points and 6 points in the respective races, but it's all to play for in these races. Joe, I don't know if you've returned at any point.
Yes, I am. Sorry,
hey, I'm so glad to hear that. So what's your thoughts of these drivers from the bits you have seen?
Yeah, it's looking like a very competitive championship at the moment. All up for grabs because we are very early on in the season. I mean, 3 rounds so far. Plenty of points. 25, as we see. This good Freak at the top. On the first race, didn't score in Imola, but 8 points in Russia, I believe that is. Yeah, so he's currently in the standings, but it's very tight, nip and tuck between all the drivers. And yeah, plenty of points to play for. I'm sure we're going to have a fun battle here in Austria.
I'm looking forward to Austria. We'll go into details in a little bit about Austria later on. I've just realised that my image does not fit. We're going to change off that screen very quickly. But ahead of Austria, we've got a couple of good tracks coming up later on in the season. Talk me through Netherlands, which will happen next week.
Yeah, Zandvoort, a new track obviously to Formula One. Only raced there in 2021, but a track that's got a lot of windy corners. I look at it similar to Spain. A lot of medium speed, quite high speed corners. Obviously got a lot of banking there as well. It's a track that a lot of nuance, a lot of challenges to it. It's definitely a track that will be a challenge to the drivers. I'm looking forward to it. And then follow that up by Canada. Canada, we know, is one of the favourite tracks on the Formula One calendar by the drivers and most fans. We'll look forward to that as well. And then we've got the likes of Italy and Bahrain coming up as well in March. Them two will be crackers as well.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting, and especially with the likes of Canada and Italy. I just want to point those out very quickly. They're basically temple of speeds, those two. So we're sticking with the likes of Russia, Austria, and Netherlands, which are a bit more corner-aided. You're going to have a bit more downforce with your cars. I want to talk. I don't know how familiar you are with setups.
Well, I've played a few, but I'm not. Yeah, not too familiar. Quite a new player to this game. New
Player.
Yeah.
We'll train him up to be a god amongst men. As we are going to be getting into the race very soon. Off the back from those standings, who do you think might come out on top in the qualifying?
I don't think I can see the standings as we speak. Distic Freak at the top. He's definitely in contention. See, 8 points in Imola isn't really what he wants. I believe that is a 6th place finish. Not particularly what he'd want, but he's someone that has a lot of talent, has a lot of speed. He'll be looking to continue his progress here in Austria. I'm very, very excited to go and get into it.
Absolutely. I do believe we're getting ever so close. Are we on a countdown in the lobby?
I believe we're there, Hyper.
Yeah, we got a countdown going. So, let's talk about the track, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is going to be Austria. We are in round 4 of this WOR. Austria being the home of the Red Bull Ring. What an amazing track this is. Hosted so many great races in the actual F1 and also hosted great races in the esports scene. Jake Benham took his last win in WR Tier 1 victory here in the last 10 races, and hell, a 2.6 mile track that only has 10 corners. About 2 of them you go flat out through. So they're not, practically you've got 8 corners here. And what great opportunities you have here to overtake as well. Looking at about 3 overtaking opportunities, which are powerful as hell. That'll be turn 1, turn 3, and turn 4. Technically, you could do it around turn 8, as you're proven here. Go in the exit of turn 5, and then power it round the outside through turn 6. Bang. Job done, and you have a great position here. But if it starts to rain, as you saw Chile go and mess up dramatically here on the slicks starts to go wrong and takes people out easy as. We are in lobby. We are back. Everyone is in. I'm pumped. I'm genuinely pumped to get this underway. And the first one's coming out. I can already see some Williams getting some activity. The Red Bull is already looking to go. And I think that's possibly Hammy? I see that with a question mark. It's...
No, I believe it is it Twitch? Twitch and Flux.
It's and Flux. Ooh. So, we're out on track. We're finally at it. We're finally getting going. Where are the areas most likely to invalidate on this track?
Well, if you're looking at the track, turn 1 is quite a very fast corner. To be fair, quite a well, the drivers like to use a lot of curve on that corner, so there's a chance that they invalidate. But the main talking point is turn 9. I believe turn 10 it was also quite a prime spot for invalidating. But turn 9 is the one that in real life you see a lot of drivers using their laps. Oh, actually, I might cut you off, Hyper, because I've just seen on the outlap, Twitch and Flux has actually crashed.
He spun it. Very unfortunate. It's so easily done on the exit of that corner. But
and there's a McLaren there as well.
As I said, it's an easy corner to do it. You just put the power down and that's it. But I'm going to quickly do a hot lap for Sideshow Samuel, a man who has been absolutely amazing. Gave us some entertainment in Bahrain. Let's give us entertainment here. Go wide as possible. Drop it down to 4th. You can run wide here and still not invalidate, but you want to try and stay within the laps, but turn 1 is not being monitored. Coming up to the braking zone, around 190 miles an hour, heavy braking. We see him shifting down to 2. Oh, just keeping it in. You can shift down to 1 and then shift back up for a short shift to 3rd. As you can see, Basic Freak getting in the way and using great amount of slipstream. Brake down here, 3rd gear. Get the power on the exit. Again, if you put the power on the curb there, you spin. Through turn 6, shift it down to 6th to 5th. Either or, varies between each driver. Turn 7, again, shift down. I like it 5th here. High revs, and then you drops as you turn. Bring it back up. Run through the gears. Through turn 8, now into turn 9. We're monitoring track limits here. It's got to keep it within the lines. It's good here. Turn 10, and then just power it out at the end. And what are we going to get? We're going to get a 1.4. It's 1.48. That is decent.
And not a very bad time there for Sideshow Samuel. Quite competitive. Oh, and he spun it. And he's hit the barrier on the in lap.
At least it's in the in lap. That's a positive there.
Anyway, yeah, exactly there. You know, he's got his lap on the board. That's all that counts at the end of the day. We will ride on board now with a couple more drivers trying to complete their lap. We're on board with Young Castro now, coming to turn 3. Driver just went off ahead of him. I believe that is Sniper. Castro now on the run down to turn 4. DRS open. Can he make sure that he is within the top 5 here? Trying to get into that 104 bracket. Into turn 4. Make sure the car rotates nicely. Now into 6th gear, coming into turn 5. Here's Castro, turning left. Just one of the 3 lefts in the corners. Takes it quite wide. Runs a bit wide here at turn 6. Now into turn 7. Quite a easy corner to make a mistake at. And now it's towards the quick turn of turn 9. Chance to invalidate. Will he keep it in the track limits? Just about, I believe. Now into turn 10. Castro across the line. Full throttle now. Where's he going to put it? It's a 105, so he might have to improve on that if he wants to be in the top 10. But for now, it's not a bad time from Castro.
It isn't too bad, I've got to admit, watching that. The couple of great areas from him. As we can see on the board, Callum with a 104.3. We were saying before the qualifying that realistically we're going to see 104s, and we're seeing it right here. But I feel a 103 coming in from somebody, as already Rambo, purple in the 2nd sector. I'm going to, deny you from speaking for a second, because this is promising. Also, I apologize to everybody watching. My internet isn't that good anymore. It's not as good as it was in Spa, but we're going to have to run with it. That's a good exit. Is it a 103? It's a 104.1! Oh, this is getting close to 103s.
Believe Hyper, that was also on the medium tyres, so very, very impressive from Rambo. We know he's got speed, we saw it in Spa. That is a very competitive lap time. Puts him top of the leaderboard, he'll be very pleased with that.
If that's mediums, he's playing strategy right now, which we can... I'm going to pass this straight over to you. Strategy-wise, 2 stops, 1 stops, where should we go for this?
It's tough, isn't it? I think with Austria, because of the sheer amount of overtaking spots, you look at, turn 1, perhaps not, but turn 3 and turn 4, a lot of overtaking opportunities. You might think that a couple of these drivers will go for that bold call for the 2 stop, in which case, do they really want to start on the mediums? I'm not quite sure. Maybe a soft to medium to soft is the best option for them. However, someone like Rambo, we are riding on board with now, possibly wants to go for that 1 stop. If he thinks that he can get on pole here, pull away from the pack, maybe a medium to hards is the best way to go for him.
I was kind of watching actually fresh for a little bit. He did a purple middle, but is invalidated just at the end, and that was an opportunity to yoink first off him as we're going through phase 2 of qualifying, which as the drivers all come in, they're starting to change up their tyres. Invalidations are quite strong here. I'm going to briefly talk about them. So coming through this corner here, running on board with Speedy Smithy. Here is so easy. If you just dip the wheel just too far over, you can invalidate. Though, pro tip, if you do go wide there, dip your other wheel onto the grass. It won't invalidate it. And you don't lose too much speed. Here, another place, easy invalidations. You go slightly too wide, you can invalidate onto exit turn 9, turn 10, another easy spot. But what has Speedy Smithy got? A 104.9. Decent. That's putting him in 8th.
Yeah, not a bad time there from Smithy. Looked, not a great lap on board, it has to be said, but like you said, kept it clean when it mattered. And as we just see, yeah, there's a few drivers yet to set a lap. I think Chase is about to set one. We're actually right on board with Chase here. JTS Chase in the McLaren. He's going down to turn 1 then. What can he do? Good first corner, keeps it well within track limits. Now, on the run up to turn 3, RS open, up to 8th gear, full flat out here for Chase. Heavy braking zone into turn 3. Nails it quite well. This is looking a very competitive lap so far for Chase. A very good first sector. What can he do now? Onto the straight, going down towards turn 4. Back up to 8th gear. Now downshifting to 4. Down to 3 for that extra rotation. Nails the apex. He's looking on for a very competitive lap. There's a driver just ahead. Gets nicely out the way. Now into turn 5. Again, keeping it clean. Not invalidating by any means. Now Chase, turn 6. Oh, runs a little bit wide. I think he may have invalidated. He could have undone all his hard work there. However, he will keep going, making sure that this lap still counts. Oh, he's gone a bit wide at turn 9. Keeps it within the track limits. Now into turn 10. He's done all the dirty work, all the tough work. Now full blast of the line. That puts him 8th. Actually, so he didn't invalidate in the end. And to be fair to Chase, not a bad time. Puts him 8th.
I gotta say, turn 8, it is said in the track notes, we're not monitoring that area. So, thankfully, being watched on stream, he does not do anything wrong. But you can go and run wide, well, essentially cut that corner a bit and actually gain time. But you mentioned it, turn 9 was his flaw at that point. Ran a bit wide and it did not work out well. I want you to keep an eye on Hammy, because he is working with his teammate here as Anflux gives him the slipstream down into turn 4. He's got a good traction here. Just to remind you all, this tier is the 2nd fastest tier for all assists. Now, not every driver is running every assist on the game. Some of them I've spoken to are only just running medium traction or ABS, so they are fighting with the case of traction or they're having to focus on their braking. So we are going to see some decent times. Hammy using every part of the track. This is competitive. Is it a 103? He crossed the line. No, it's a 104.7. It looks promising, and his teammate Anflux coming in clutch. Thank you, sir, for your duties, because he's about to do the same thing for his teammates as we're going to switch to Anflux.
Yeah, Hammy there, getting the slipstream from his teammate. I'm sure he might have wanted to do a little bit better with his time, 104.7. He will look to improve that. But anyway, now running on board with Flux, he has the opportunity to repeat what Hammy did. Now, down towards turn 4. Will Hammy get out of the way? No, not quite. But he's still about 4 or 5 seconds behind, so there won't be dirty air for now. Flux then, on a quick lap, still got that slipstream from Hammy. Going down towards turn 5 now, left-hander. The person on the outlap gets nicely out the way. Into turn 6 here. Hammy, Flux has gone wide. Flux has gone wide, he runs, dips a wheel into the grass. Again, no track limits at turn 7, so he will get away with it. It might cost him a lot of time, and as you can see, as a result of that, he has backed out of his lap, and he will be pitting as a result.
Yeah, it was just the slightest bit of traction. I don't know if you saw it all too well. Just as he went through turn 7, the car just decided to squeal. The car that's not squealing is Rambo. Once again, purple middle. Are we actually going to see the 103s coming out? I've been wanting this. I've been saying it invalidates. No! Oh, he had the traction and then he thought, oh, I'm going to go a little bit wider. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I just realised, I haven't actually had my lap data on the whole time, which is very frustrating because I would have been very hyped for that Rambo middle sector. But again, yeah, like you say, unfortunately for him, couldn't quite put that lap fully together, like you say, and invalidating it. Again, he's got that time early on the board. You know, just with 6 minutes left, he has already got a 2.5 gap to Callum in second. He's looking right in the driving seat here for pole. We're
going to keep an eye on Viper. Viper was a very, very nice driver. definitely performed well in Belgium. We also, once Viper crossed the line, I'm going to head over to Basic Freak, who also was competitive in Spa. And you're wondering, why do we keep mentioning Spa? Well, if you only just joined, we didn't stream the last 2 races. And I, again, also apologise for the quality not being up to standard. But, that being said, we are on board with Viper. He's running wide. He's losing time through turn 8. And it's turn 7, sorry. And yeah, he decides to back out because that is not where you want to be. I told you Basic Freak's on a good lap. You can see on the track map, it's purple. He's coming to the second to last corner, turn 9. We're monitoring this zone here. Nice. Keeping it crisp. He's got Viper ahead of him. It's not going to block him. It's actually going to help him a little bit. Is it a 103? It's a 104.0!
So close.
Wow.
Wow, what a lap though for Basic Freak anyway. Puts in pole, provisional pole for now. You have to admit though, Rambo on the mediums, he is only a 10th behind Basic Freak. So this pole position is right between quite a few drivers here. You know, Anime in 4th, Callum in 3rd, the 2 Alfa Romeos, they're also on mediums, so they're right in the box seat as well here. But yeah, Basic Freak couldn't quite put that 103 together, but a 104.0 is a very competitive lap time.
Thing is, you say that, but Rambo, so I've got on the screen for everybody to see, Basic Freak did that on his softs. Rambo did a 104.1, which is about a 10th slower on 4 lap old mediums. I think that says a lot right there. And the fact that most of this pack is going and opting for that medium route kind of says that they wanted to try and play the medium, possibly 2-stop. We'll get into strategy later on, but they're trying to run off that. We're watching Speedy Smith. What can he do on this lap? It's not competitive, but this may be his warm-up lap or just to put a time on the board.
I believe it is. So let's ride on board with him. That's a very good first corner from Speedy. DRS well and truly open here. On the run down to turn 3. We've seen a lot of drivers nail this apex. Can Speedy do the same? It's at 59 for the first sector. Very competitive on the mediums, has to be said. Good exit out of turn 3. Making sure the car's stable. Gets on the traction. Now on the run down to turn 4. What can Speedy do? Can he keep it tight? Speedy does well. The car remains planted here. Out of turn 4. Now on the run down to turn 5. Left at 6. Just keeps it within the limits. Not a bad lap. Very clean lap so far for Speedy. Turn 7's caught a few people out. And he does well, Speedy. He keeps it within the limits. No running onto the grass here. Can Speedy, now these final 2 corners, to put him in contention here. Goes a little bit right at turn 9. Keeps it within the limits. Now turn 10. Does all the job. Can he put this 103 possibly? No, but a very competitive lap time actually, it has to be said, at 104.6. Puts in P7 on 5 lap old mediums. Not a bad lap from Speedy. I'm sure he can probably do better though.
He possibly could, as Mr. Blue Sky just crossed the line with a 104.7 as I was about to spectate him. Who have we got? We've got Hammy. He is up on his time. Can it be a lot more? No, he backs out of it. I think he might have gone wide just as I spectated him and honouring the rules behind that have been set. Where is the action? Where is the action? We've got Young. Actually, that's what Young Castro. We haven't spoken about him. Don't know much about him. I really don't. I wish I did. You know what? Joe, your hot lap.
Yeah, as we say, Castro going through turn 1 now. Not a bad corner there from him by any means. On the soft tyre, so you do expect him to be semi-competitive here. 59 for the first sector, not too bad. We've seen a couple of them today. Now is turn 3, pretty nicely. Car's planted beneath him. He's got a car ahead of him, giving him a potential slipstream. Doesn't really use it, has to be said, of fresh there. On the run down to turn 4, looks to get the car planted. Right-hander there. Does pretty well, to be fair. On the traction. Now, yellow flags are out in sector 2. Not really sure what that's for. Sector 1, 2 and 3 now. So maybe a collision somewhere. But we continue to ride on board with Castro. Turn 7, he navigates quite well. Now into turn 9. We know how much trouble this corner has caused. No one's really invalidated there yet. Can Castro do it? Oh, it's a very, very competitive turn 9 there. Now into turn 10. Castro on the soft tyre. We know what this means. Can he put it 103? not quite, but 4th place for Castro. Yes, albeit on the softs. Potentially a banana skin for the race. Maybe you want to be starting on the mediums. But P4, I'm sure he's relatively pleased with that.
Yeah, and just to note, you said someone's crashed. Cryptic has crashed on track or retired, meaning that the yellow flag is out. We ignore that. We completely ignore the yellow flags. The F1 actual rules don't apply here. Minute left, so drivers are trying to get out as fast as possible. So we're going to stay on board with Fresh, as he's going to be the next driver, the driver that we're watching. A few more across the line, and I'll try and keep track of them as they cross the line. We see Viper improve into 3rd. Who's next to cross the line? It's going to be an Alpine. That'll be Basic Freak crossing the line to start his lap. Also, Chase will start his lap. But it's a purple middle for Fresh. We're seeing purples left, right, and centre. But they can't seem to execute it right at the end. That's a green of Rambo having to stay out the way. Fresh does improve slightly, but it's not enough. We're going to watch Rambo. He has been at the top. He has been competitive. Can he push that Aston Martin across the line? He will be the last driver to cross the line to start a new lap. Everybody else will be setting their lap times. Basic Freak now retires because he can't do much. It's a purple first. Drop it down to 2nd. Power on the track. Power on and shift up through those gears. And it's looking decent. He's trying to get a toe of Fresh. He's doing everything he can. But he's invalidated because of it. Oh, when the opportunity arose, it did not work for him. Chase is on a lap. He's the last one. No, he's invalidated.
Just Anime's on the lap, Viper. Just Anime. He's going through Sector 2. Does look like he's going a bit slow. Is he on the lap? I'm not particularly sure. I believe everyone might have finished by now. Fresh, we know we have just finished the lap, so he's probably on the cooldown one. As it stands, Basic Freak will be on pole for the Austrian Grand Prix. And to be fair to him, a 104.0, he's done a very fine job there.
Very fine is an understatement, but he did it on soft. So how much is this going to punish him in the race? Of course, yeah, we're going to have a load of yellow safety cars. That is given. But you just don't know how this is going to turn out. And this is the enjoyment of the F1 racing, because this is provisionally what we're seeing. You know, Wavy Knife retired. I think he had a quali ban. So, potentially, he might come up through the field.
Absolutely, Wavy Knife. And also Storm Twister in P16. We just had him on the call a minute ago. We're wishing him good luck. Unfortunately for him, he didn't quite get a lap in. There was 122 in the end. He might not have been able to actually get a clean lap in the end. Shame for him. But like we say,
shame.
Freak on pole. Rambo in P3 is in the prime position to really challenge Freak. And don't forget Anime in P2. He'll be up for it as well.
So a quick rundown. Basic Freak takes pole with just Anime in 2nd. Rambo takes 3rd, followed up by Fresh on the 2nd row. Viper in 5th. Callum in 6th. Young Castro in 7th. Cryptic in 8th. Speedy Smithy, goes in 9th. Sideshow Samuel, absolute banger of an overtaker, goes in 10th. Twitch and Flux in 11th. Mr. Blue Sky, lovely driver, in 12th. Henry goes 13th. D Guna in 14th. Chase in 15th. Storm Twister, he needs to get better, down in 16th. The only reason I'm having a go at a Storm is he's a commentator. All commentators have a go at each other.
Banter.
Dory, if he was doing tier 8, he would have a go at me. I do it to Dark Killer in tier 1 when I was in SRC. Absolute roast the hell out of him. But getting into this race, strategy. And I feel this is going to be the biggest part of it, is this tyre strategy. We're seeing a lot of them start on mediums. What can you do off that medium tyre?
Well, you look at Rambo again. Look, if Rambo can stick within the DRS of Anime, I believe it is in 2nd, and Freak in 1st, then he is in great position, because he is only, potentially less than a second behind, the front runner in that case. Freak and Anime are gonna have to pit around sort of lap 10, I believe. Obviously, it's quite a long track here. Short track, a lot of laps, 36 laps. So yeah, potentially sort of between lap 10 and 12. For Rambo, he can potentially stay out until lap sort of 20, extend his stint, not have to navigate his way through the back markers, and he could be in a very prime position. Obviously, at the end on fresher hards with less fuel, he could be flying.
Yeah, and it also poses the option of how they take the pits, because we're saying lap 10 roughly to pit. But at the same time, in theory, we could see a two-stop strategy, which is very promising. It was actually the strategy I posed. Well, I say I posed. I kind of did about five different stops. But, you know, we don't talk about that. But the two-stop strategy going from soft, medium, medium as shown on screen, or soft, medium, we're not going to see hard, but soft, medium, soft, things like that could play into effect. Or if you really want to, soft, hard, which again, that lap 10 will come in. We'll see some hard tyres going on and they'll go to the end of the race. Vice versa, the medium runners are going a bit differently. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the tyres they're starting on, of which the entire back, bar chase, are on mediums.
Yeah, that's very much that has to be expected. I mean, if you've got, obviously you see 9th and 10th for Speedy and Sideshow, obviously I believe they qualified on them tyres, but the drivers outside the top 10 have that free choice of tyre, which basically allows them to gain places and get within the race of the top 10 ahead of them. But yeah, like you say, that medium tyre does seem to be the favour here for many of these drivers. But as we say, Hyper, Basic Freak coming around the last corner now. We are about to get into this race.
Absolutely, anything can happen. If you've only just joined, welcome to Tier 10. You're about to see I was going to say master show, but I've heard a lot of rumours after the last two races. Definitely not confirm a master show, but Tier 10, the second fastest of the non-assisted tiers, and also demonstrating some absolute quality skill in terms of some overtakes. We saw that in Belgium, of course. The other two races we've not seen as of recently. Drivers are lining up, so we should be seeing the 5 lights ever so soon. And again, I apologise to everybody watching about the quality. This is not the standard I uphold. Blame my internet. 5 lights are about to show. There's a couple of lights. It shows 5. And they're off, and away it goes. It seems to be a good start by Basic Freak. Absolutely launching it away. The Haas of Fresh, maybe trying to divide the front two, but it stays nice and clean at the back. Just animated, it's a bit of a crash. There's an AlphaTauri gone out somewhere, but Fresh has gained the position onto Just Anime. He's lost down, and now he's got to fight again. We're going to see 3 wide in the background. And wow, Fresh is attacking up front. He's already jumped a few positions and he is wanting to get up to Basic Freak's level. Into turn 4 we go. Is there a fight back? Yes, Rambo is coming back at the start. He is saying, I am the one fighting here. This is my opportunity. The soft tires are not the strategy you want to be on.
Oh, Rambo, like we said, if he could stay within the DRS of the 2 drivers ahead of him, but he's already got ahead of Fresh. And if you look at Anime started 3rd in this race. He's down to 15th. He's had a mare at the start. We need to find out what happened. I'm sure we will eventually. But for Rambo, he's in a very good position here. However, the gap is 2.2 seconds from Freak. So Freak will look to, I'm sure he'll look to use his ERS to extend that gap. But for now, Rambo is in a very good position, up to P2.
And we could just see ahead. We said about Storm Twister. You know, we diss Storm a lot, but this man has got himself up to 6th. Wow.
Hyper, I'm gonna have to distract you, Hyper, because Basic Freak's suddenly gone down to P4. I have no clue what has happened here. But he's gone down to P4. But I believe he was ghosting, actually. I saw Rambo at the corner of my eye just sort of go through his car. Maybe he sort of disconnected for a brief moment, but that is a real shame for the pole sitter here. Suddenly, Rambo on the medium tyre, he is leading this race, and now Fresh is the one trying to hunt him down.
Very, very critical indeed. Not what you want to happen, but it's so easy to do. I'm going to hop back to Storm Twister because he is right on the heels of Sideshow Samuel. He's been pushing him around this track as we're going to be getting DRS this lap. So the DRS trains are going to start to form. Sideshow Samuel is going to be squirming for traction. You saw him get a bit questionable on the exit, but can Storm Twister? He's got a decent amount of VRS. You can just see it on the steering wheel. He needs to keep this tidy and clean. Basic Freak with a first penalty of 3 seconds for exceeding track limits. Storm Twister, we're going to focus on him, is closing up ahead. Basic Freak has just got past Callum. The quality is still terrible, but that's what Basic Freak needed.
Yeah, Basic Freak trying to make amends for that slight error. I'm not sure if it was on his part, but he's making amends. He's back up to P3. He'll look to get fresh now. But as you say, Storm Twister is the one we need to keep an eye on. He's made up, I believe, 11 places. Like I said, qualified down in P17. It might have been P16 actually, because of I think it was Wavy Knights. He also didn't really settle out. Oh, and that's a spinner there. A spinner, I believe. Is it Hammy? Oh, it's Sideshow Samuel's gone off. Hit the wall at turn 7. And well, that's a real shame for Sideshow Samuel on the medium tyre. He had real potential in this race. He's back down to P15. What a shame.
That is so disappointing. It is such an easy corner just to put your foot down, and then the traction you just lose it all. And Storm Twister, we're talking so much about him. He was doing so well, and a 3-second time penalty has just been dished out to him. But he is closing. He's got a lunge one down the inside. Nice and crisp. He's got to be able to hold it. He does. What a move.
Hyper Fresh is attacking Rambo for the lead. Down to turn 4. Is he going to get it done? Oh, he has. He's got the inside line. Rambo on the outside. Doesn't want to be forced wide. They're going to go side by side here through turn 5. I think Rambo might just have it. Very good defending from the Aston Martin. The Haas for now just has to sit behind, but he is right within. He is right all over his gearbox. Rambo's going to be scratching his head here. Fresh is all over him. He wants to get past Rambo. Make amends of the softs. Oh, they last. While they are the quicker tyre over the mediums. But for now, Rambo does have the lead. And like you say, Storm Twister is making amends here. Up to 4th. He's having an absolute superb race.
Oh, no. The whole game has just gone iffy as Wavy Knife has left and everybody's leaving. It may be a race restart.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I can't quite see that on me. For me, no one's actually left. I'm still watching this awesome battle for the lead. And actually, I'm not sure if you're still here, Hyper, but Fresh is actually overtaking Rambo. Rambo's going to come back for more here, though. Takes the inside line down to turn 4. Rambo retakes the lead with the DRS. Fresh, though, looking to cut back. He's got ahead of him. Rambo on the mediums is struggling here. Fresh trying to keep first place. Rambo back down the inside, but Fresh has got it, I believe. Runs. Oh, it's just absolute brilliant side-by-side battling here. Still going through turn 7, but for now, the Haas of Fresh just a 10th ahead of Rambo. Rambo again through turn 9 though, trying to get the lead again. But I think for the first time this race, Rambo is going to have to settle for P2. Fresh is now leading.
I don't know what is happening, but I definitely have been kicked out 100% of this thing because I just had the podium sit up for me. So I don't actually know. I'm completely kicked out. So let's see if I can try and rejoin back in, as apparently all the drivers have.
Send you an invite, Hyper?
I can get myself back in, but
Okay.
Are they still racing? That is the question.
Yes, they are. They are going hammer and tongues here. Now, again, Rambo back down towards turn 4. He's all over the back of Fresh here. 5 laps. All mediums. Can he get around softs of Fresh? He can. Round the outside. He's going to use the ERS deployment to try and make the move stick. And he does. This time, Rambo back into the lead. But this battle between Fresh and Rambo for P1 is really heating up. And now, if you look behind Fresh, there is Basic Freak, just 4 tenths behind. He has clawed his way back into race contention here.
You gotta keep going.
Out of the game. So I will continue commentating for now. I hope Hyper is able to join back very shortly. But as we say, yeah, 3-way battle at the moment. The top 3 are separated by just 5/10 of a second. Then there's a bit of a 3-second gap back to Storm Twister in 4th. He's also invalidated along with Basic Freak. But I believe I'm going to ride on Callum now because Callum's actually making a move on Storm Twister, and so is Hammy. Hammy for P4. Can he send the one down the inside? He can. He's got the move done, I believe. Callum and Hammy going side by side here through turn 2. Storm Twister's waiting in the wings. He's been overtaken twice in a matter of meters here. But Hammy from P6 is now up to P4. He's the best of the rest between the front three at the moment. Me on the medium tyre.
Can I have an invite?
With an invite, I will absolutely send you one. Send you one over. What is your game attack, Hyper?
T hyperactive. We probably should have set this up earlier. Capital T, capital H.
It's okay. A little fault in the stream won't do any harm. We'll get back to it very shortly.
Apart from my beautiful reputation as one of the top quality.
I am trying to send you an invite, but I believe as I'm sending it, someone has spun. I believe the Alpine. I'm not really sure who it is. It might be Hammy. It might be. I'm not really sure. I'll check very shortly. I'll send Hyper a game invite. It's actually Basic Freak. Basic Freak for the second time this race has had a fault. He's back down to P9. Suddenly,
no.
It looked like he's sort of clawed his way back into the race. He's undone his good work again, and now he's in the pits to replace them 7-lap old soft tyres. And he's also replacing that front wing of his that has taken a fair old whack. I'm sure Hyper will be back with us in a minute. If he is, then feel free to take over from me. I've been I need to get a couple of breaths in. It's fair to say. But as we look on, fresh now, just with the 7-lap old softs. Probably at this stage, his softs are wearing out. It's probably at the stage where the mediums are quicker. Like the so-called saying of his softs has fallen off a cliff. But he is still within that crucial 5/10. He's got DRS, a lot of overtaking spots around Austria. Can Fresh put some pressure on Rambo? He's not going to pit anytime soon. This battle for P1 is really heating up. We'll continue commentating for now. I'm sure Hyper is.
You're going to learn very quickly how to solo commentate right now without my assistance.
I am trying to do my very best here. I'm actually going to ride on board with Fresh again because with DRS, he has managed to make it down to just under a 10th. Now suddenly, trying to open the corner out of turn 3. Gets a better exit than Rambo. Rambo, we've seen, has got a very shrewd defence though here. Fresh, on the back of Rambo, down towards turn 4. I believe he is a bit far back. He can't quite make the move on this occasion. And you have to stick behind the Aston Martin for now. But like I say, Basic Freak, P12. So I believe he's ghosting for whatever reason. Maybe he actually is no longer with us in this race. With someone who was on pole, looking to really extend that race lead, albeit on the softs. What a shame for Basic Freak. His race is really sort of over at this point because he's had to pit so early on the softs, and he's also over 20. I believe he's actually 5 seconds behind a man in P10. So all his work is undone from earlier. Yellow flags in sector 3. What has happened here? We will get to that in a minute. But we're going to ride back on board with Fresh because, again, after turn 1, Fresh is now all over the back of Rambo, deploying the ERS. He's going to make a move down the inside. Fresh, bold move. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he is. But now Rambo is going to be the one with the exit. Rambo, will he have DRS? He will because he was behind at the activation point. Rambo, with the DRS, just gets back ahead of Fresh. Fresh will have to, again, stick behind. This is probably really frustrating in the hass of Fresh because he's had to use so much energy to try and make this move on Rambo while he can with the soft tyres. And it's at the point now where you think that Fresh might have to make that pit stop and try and sort of throw Rambo off into making an early pit stop off the medium. But at this point in the race, Rambo is in a very dominant position to win this race. And we will actually go on board with Callum now. Callum has been stuck behind Hammy for the last few laps. He's now in 3/10. Just catch your breath there. He's now going around the final corner, turn 10, right on the back of Hammy. And these two are in DRS. There's a as it stands, a 5/10 gap between 6/10 gap between Rambo and Fresh at the start. They are P1 and P2. Hammy in P3 is just over 4/10 ahead of Callum. We'll cut back to that though, because at the moment, Fresh coming out of turn 3 has got a better exit than Rambo. Can he use this DRS to make this move? He's been trying to make it since lap 1. But can he be successful? I don't think he is. I think Rambo is just going to have the edge over him on this particular occasion. As you can see on the screen, that Hyper is very nearly there to try and get him back into the action here.
Oh, we're back. We're back indeed. We are back in the action, and I do apologise everybody for that technical difficulty. It has been a pain, and actually now seeing what's happening, there's quite a spread of the field, a couple of pocket of actions happening, and thank you, Joe. for your first ever, and I want to compliment you so massively, for your first ever stream, or even commentating, I could understand picturesque what the hell was going on. Perfectly done. I look forward for the rest of the season and hopefully a better internet supply.
Thank you very much, Hope.
As we will stay on board with this battle. Fresh has been dominating. We've been hearing that he's been wanting to really close down the gap because the pit stops are coming up right now. Lap 12 is when it's going to happen. And Fresh is getting frustrated. You can see the amount he's weaving side by side. But it's going to be a battle side by side. Hemi versus Callum. They are going for it. They are wanting it. Hemi does get past. Callum cannot fight back. Oh, that's disappointing for Callum. He's been holding that position for a little while now. And Hammy has said, nah, this is my opportunity.
Yeah, like you say, these two battles have been going on hammer and tongs for the last sort of 6 or 7 laps. There's another yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that is Viper. He looks like he's dropped down the pecking order. Speedy Smithy has as well. Maybe that's because he has pit. He is on now 1 lap old soft. We're back towards this fight for the lead. Fresh is 6 tenths behind, so he has dropped a little bit. And again, like we say, it's at the point now, 13 laps in. Will Fresh make that quarter box? We'll have to see. As for Hammy and Callum is currently 5 tenths behind, but they are both on medium, so we won't see much movement in terms of pit stops for them two. But Fresh, we're going to ride on board with him now. Coming up to turn 3, can get the move done, a bit far back, 4 or 5 tenths back. But you can see he is using this ERS of deployment along with this DRS. Can he make a move on Rambo? Putting out the slipstream. Trying to sort of make Rambo defend. Not quite working on this occasion for our boy Fresh. Callum behind, still behind Hammy. Unlucky for him. But yeah, these two battles at the front. I hope we see this in the next 24 laps.
I hope it goes down like that because the way this is going is absolutely amazing. Because even further back, I just want to point out our boy Storm Twister once again on the back of somebody. Daguna is going to have to defend like, oh God almighty, because the pockets are coming out. And we're seeing this pop up, and it's a very common thing with the likes of sim racing is pockets of battles. Now, I'm going to focus on Storm Twister as a safety car is out. And the leaders have gone past the pits. The question is, has the safety car got in front? No.
Yeah, we see the safety car come out, and this is a very, very important call now for Fresh and for Rambo. You would like to think Fresh would pit 13 lap old softs. This has actually come at a very, very good time for Fresh, because if he pits now, he could probably go onto the hards until the end of the race. He might go onto the mediums, might try a bold strategy. But for Rambo, what does he do? He can't really pit onto mediums. Well, he can. He can pit onto mediums if he wants to go for a 1-stop. He's going to have to go onto hards, or like I said with Fresh, is he going to go for that 2-stop? I'm not sure, because as the race leader, you sort of just want to maintain track position, not have to fight your way through the field. So we'll see. With the safety car coming in, it's all up for grabs now.
It is, and I'm trying to work out the strategy here. It could go either way. Rambo, he decides to dummy it. He's a bit too far ahead to really make a dummy call like that. But he's coming in behind. Fresh coming in. Who else is coming in? I think the entirety of the front rows are coming in. Okay, what are they coming in for now?
I mean, he nearly crashed into the back of Fresh there. Got away with it. But like you say, yeah, this
Rambo's
is really
soft.
heating up now.
Rambo is going for a 2-stop strategy.
Oh, Rambo's going bold. I love to see it.
That is bold. And we're seeing Hammy going into hards. Daguna going for hards. Mr. Blue Sky for hards. So a couple of them are sticking to the 1-stop strategy.
And they Vipers on 7 laps. Sorry, that's my mistake there. Yeah, like you say, a lot of different strategies here. Rambo onto softs, Callum onto softs, as well as Storm Twister. We've seen Storm Twister make up a lot of positions so far in this race. He's going to look to continue that. Daguna ahead of him is on hard, so you'd like to think at the safety car restart, he's going to be at an advantage with that. But as for Rambo, he's going to have to pit again. There's no doubt about it. I'm very sure he cannot do 21 laps on these softs. If he does, then fair play to him. He's pulled off a master stroke. But Fresh, suddenly, from Rambo looking in prime position here, Fresh on the mediums, I think he can do 21 laps. I think Fresh has a very good chance of winning this race.
He's got the better chance, but the thing is, my question is lying, can those mediums possibly be edged to the end? Because that's another strategy here. Okay, Hammy is on the better position with the hards, but they're not a race-worthy tyre. You know, I was nowhere near the pace with the hards. Admittedly, I'm way off the pace normally, but I was completely off the pace with those hards. So, is the hards significant enough in the first start of the stint, but will the mediums last at the end of the stint? Can they run maybe a one-stop, or will we maybe seeing Fresh and Rambo coming into the pits again? That's where I stand.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like you say, the hards long-term might be the better tyre. If you look at Hammy here, Callum behind him is on the softs, and it's the same with Daguna. Like I said previously, Daguna and Hammy are the ones to watch. Sorry, Callum and Stormtwister are the ones to watch, because they're going to be the ones applying pressure on Daguna and Hammy respectively. We see a couple of more drivers pitting here. Blue Sky into the pits, as well as Viper. They're onto the mediums. I believe Viper was on the hard. I'm not sure about Blue Sky, so you're probably right call for them to pit. Viper, to be fair to him, hasn't really lost much track position with that. And we look at, I just want to mention Basic Freak quickly. The man who was on pole, you know, stuck it on pole by a couple of tenths. He's down in P9, and his medium tyres are 7 lap old. I do fear for him a bit, because there are some very quick drivers behind him on fresher tyres. Will Basic Freak even score points today? That is the question.
I think points are more possible for Basic Freak, but a fact he is ghosted. I believe that's a ghosted car. I don't think that's a... Oh, no, it isn't. No, right. that is normal. Yeah, so it's possible. But safety car is in this lap, which means that the man ahead, the man in the Aston Martin, becomes the new safety car for a little bit. He will control the pack for the last sector, and he will pounce whenever he deems ready. But once he pounces, he has to go, catching the drivers behind off guard. He is waiting. When's he going to pounce? As that's a bit dodgy from Fresh. He has gone. He's going, but Fresh is not napping, and there goes Callum. Oh, Callum spun in the background. Oh, no. That is not what you want to see on the soft tyres. The one that would be the fighting chance. Fresh has made a good Rambo's made a good launch. Fresh is not able to fully keep up, but he is within the DRS, so that is advantage Fresh, because now he can battle down, get into it, and go and fight for the win.
But keep an eye on Stormtwister, your mate Stormtwister. I'm not sure if he is your mate, but in any case, he is 3 tenths behind Daguna, and actually Daguna himself on the hards is applying pressure to Hammy here. Also, Hammy is also on the hards. Like you say, for Callum, be up in, I believe it was P4, you know, applying pressure to Hammy to, there's a bit of damage there between Stormtwister and Daguna. I think Stormtwister might have just nudged him in the back. Like I say, for Callum, lead that back down to P16, way off the points now. Oh, it must hurt. And that's sort of similar thing what happened to Basic Freak. A little spin, just a couple of errors here and there. Perhaps being too aggressive at the safety car restart has cost him this situation.
Stormtwister has not scored points yet. He has been wanting to get points. He's currently sitting 5th, mate. You are getting a bag load of points, and he needs to keep it tight, because look at him pull to the outside. Already early in the straight, he's got past Daguna, needed on this soft tyre strategy. Wow, make that crisp and clean. But can he make it a 1 and a 2 as he's got Hammy right ahead of him? He's got good traction, and that's going to cruise right past the Red Bull. Brilliant work from Stormtwister.
Yeah, like I say, again, Stormtwister on them softs, a bit like Rambo, to be fair. He is definitely well in podium contention. Can he? With this race pace he has seen as far, and Stormtwister claw his way into race contention here. I'm not sure. It's a difficult one for him. He is about 2.5 seconds off Fresh in front of him. But with this sort of pace we are seeing from him, I wouldn't rule it out.
We've got an Aston Martin. That's Hammy. Oh, Hammy was Hammy was in the mix. He is retired. What has happened? Luckily, the race has been able to continue, but oh no to him. That's not what you want to see. As what's this happening behind? It's a ghosted car. Chill. It's all good.
I believe it. I think it's Speedy Smithy in the goes car behind Chase. Oh, actually, there we go. You see Viper making his way past Smithy as well. We're going to cut ahead though to Daguna and young Castro here. Daguna all over the rear box of the Ferrari. Rear box, gearbox. With the RS down towards turn 4. Aggressive defense from the Ferrari of Castro. Oh, he's outbreaking himself, and Castro's going to make the cut back, and that's a bit of a mistake there from Daguna on the hard tyres. He doesn't really need to be making these sort of moves. But at the end of the day, he is on the tyres that will last the longest. He has suddenly gone from attacking P5 to falling back to P7.
Yeah, and the thing is, Flux at turn 3 had the advantage. Poor exit, and then just couldn't capitalize on it. Daguna came back, and then hell broke loose, outbroke himself, as well as making contact with the young Castro. Problems are brewing up everywhere. Chase now on the rear end of Daguna on those medium tires, so that's going to be an advantage to Chase. Again, ever so close. That onboard makes it look like he touched. Cryptic behind gets past Viper, so there's overtakes happening left, right, and center. Daguna looking to make a move. Purple first sector, so those hard tires are now coming into play. Down, we're going to be heading into turn 4 in a second, and that Red Bull's already looking on young Castro again. Wow, and Flux is making some moves today.
Yeah, you see this battle here between the P5, and it goes down to as far as P10 here. All in DRS from Twitch and Flux down towards Viper. These are the battle for the remaining points here. You can get as up to 10 points with a P5 finish here. Also, Viper, I want to mention Wavy Knife. We mentioned the Storm Twister. He made up 13 positions. I believe Wavy Knife has as well. He is on 11 lap old medium, so he might have to box again, which will be a shame. He is running a fine race, gone a bit under the radar, have to be said. Yeah, credit to him and Stormchester making amends for their poor qualifying. And yeah,
I'm going to interrupt very quickly because Daguna, Chase, and Cryptic are all super close, and it looks like Chase is going to lunge it down on the inside into turn 3. That is late and bold. Little bit of contact. That's going to cause chaos behind because now Cryptic's going to get involved. But the exit from Chase wasn't the strongest, but it's strong enough just to stay ahead. But Daguna with a lunge. Oh, late braking. Nearly pulls it off. Doesn't fully work. Now has left Cryptic open. Maybe Cryptic round the outside. He does. He's going to take the opportunity round the outside. Makes it work.
What's a move from the house there. Daguna. This is what happens in the midfield, you know. Like I said, between, I believe it's 6 now of Flux and Viper, these drivers are within meters of each other. I think Viper's just made a move on Daguna. So Daguna's gone from P7 fighting with Chase. He's now found himself with just 1 point to his name as it stands. It will keep this battle going because now Chase is making a move on Twitch and Flux. He's side by side going into turn 1. Oh, he's trying a bit wide, but he's made the move. Does that count? Because he has run off the track. They're now going to go side by side up the hill, and he's just ahead, I believe, and he is. He's got a car length ahead. Twitch and Flux is now going to go to the outside. Can he make amends for it? He's trying to get the better exit here. Gets the switch back. Oh my god, this is absolutely beautiful racing here. Crip now getting involved, but like we say, riding on with Twitch and Flux now. Can he make a move on Chase? I think he's a bit far back on this occasion. Viper now trying to get up past Crip. He has to maintain position as well for now.
Yeah, there's battles everywhere. We have forgotten about the front. They've separated themselves very nicely indeed. So don't you worry, we are monitoring them. It's just chaos is the only word. But all it's... Oh! That is a critical moment. You don't want to go wide. Chase, all that work now completely undone. But as I was just saying, it takes one mistake and then the chaos just forms. As Cryptic is now side by Flux, getting past him. Very clean. But this does expose himself into turn 2 and 3. So making that move into turn 1, yes, is good for track position. But you've now got another 2 DRS zones to contend with. And there we go. And Flux back past. So now Cryptic and Flux gone wide. So that's going to be helpful because now Cryptic now has to put on the power and pull away. What a camera this is. Because we can just see Viper going past not 1, but he's looking for 2. Oh.
Spun it. Oh, we've got this contact between the midfield. We knew it would happen at some point. I'm sorry to interrupt you there, I was just getting very excited. But Viper spun it and suddenly, again, like just these little errors from the midfield. You saw it with Basic Freak, and now on this occasion Viper, he's down to P13. What a struggle for him, but as it stands, Laguna was P10, he's got up back to P7. Crypt has come out from nowhere, is finding himself in P6. But to be fair to Castro, he's now P4 now. He's done very well to hold off this pack behind him, and he's now within DRS of Wavy Knife. I'm not sure he'll make a move on this main straight going up towards turn 3. We'll see. He's only got 20% ERS, so perhaps not on this occasion. He might have to save up his battery for now. But he has got the tyre advantage over Wavy Knife. 6 lap fresher mediums.
Just a quick note while we have it, have a brief, well, no, not even have a brief pause because more action is going to happen and Flux is going to get past Daguna as the battle still continues. Chase is going to go for a lunge. Is he going to go for 1 or is he going to go for 2? That's bold. It's not going to work. He's going to have to stick for 1, but no, he ain't done yet. He ain't going to finish because he's going to go around turn 4, 5. This is turn 6. I might have got my numbers wrong. He is still battling. He is still wanting. He is hungry. And he won't get the second, but at least he'll get 1. What I was trying to say is that Storm Twister had to pit. Wavy Knife is now in the pits, which means they're going to drop down the listing as this battle still is brewing amongst the mix. And it is still going on. Once again, Chase into the first corner. Getting ever so close to and Flux. He's going to have to be patient here. Though, he's got Daguna. Yes, he does have Daguna right behind him. What happened to Smith? Sorry, Smith is gone. Smith has gone and lost his position, which has then allowed Daguna to fight back. Those hard tyres are now coming back into play. We can't see that car. There he is. He's gone past the one. He's gone by 2.
That's a move. Oh, and there's again contact. Twitch and Flux runs into the back of Daguna. These 3 are leaving nothing on the table. Callum is just waiting in the wings here, and there's more contact. There's going to be 3 wide here into turn 5. I believe Daguna's just about stayed ahead. Twitch and Flux has to settle behind for now, but Chase isn't giving up. He's not yielding. Into turn 7 now. They're going to go side by side through turn 9. This can only end badly. What is going to happen? Daguna and Chase takes the corner, and now Twitch and Flux is chipped in. He's going to try and make the move on Daguna. Doesn't quite happen for now. But I want to mention, Hyper, that Crit has now found himself up to P2, and Young Castro in P3. These two, out of nowhere, suddenly in podium contention.
To be honest, this mid-pack has the potential to be fighting for podiums if they stay out at this pace. But I do question the durability of these tyres because I'm not going to get overly excited again because once again we go through turn 3 and into turn 4 battling once again. Like, I'm loving this because it's so entertaining. But it's getting the same old. Contact here and there. The Red Bull doing a little nudge. Not successful enough to push the Williams off the track. But the traction is way better. The Red Bull going around the outside of turn 6 and through turn 7.
Yeah, like you said, because of this battle in between Flux and Daguna, suddenly Chase has been able to pull away slightly. He's still got Twitch and Flux in his DRS. You have to think at some point, as we see Callum going around the outside there of Daguna, bit of an odd one for Daguna, sort of missed the apex. Oh, Callum spun it into the wall. Oh, what a shame for the Alfa Romeo. He just got past Daguna and he's undone all his good work, and suddenly Callum is probably going to find himself outside the points here, despite being on the quick soft tyres.
Rambo has pitted from the lead. He has made his stop and is on fresh medium tyres. He's going to get past Cryptic, putting himself back into second, and all he has to do for the last, 9 laps I think it is, I'm doing my maths in my head, he's got to chase down 11 seconds onto this man. This man, fresh. Viper has just DNF'd. Is that going to cause a safety car? Or is that in the pits?
I believe it might be in the pits because we are just singing yellow flag in sector 3. I hope it's not a safety car because to be honest, what we're seeing now is because Rambo's got 12 lap fresher tyres and he's on the soft, this is going to be extremely exciting to watch now. We can have We might be able to have a short break from this midfield action and just focus on the sheer pace of Rambo in this Aston Martin. He's got less than 10 seconds now to chase down Fresh. Fresh is on 12 lap mediums. We saw him pit at the safety car.
Can we just...
It's going to be nip and tuck between the two.
I'm just going to make a point. 104.6 Rambo did. He is in qualifying mode right now. Fresh tyres. And the fuel's lower by a lot. But it's stupidly low later on. So we're going to possibly see him go to a 10... did I say 106? No, it's not really qualifying paces, but it's still stupidly fast. 104.6, sorry. So he has already gained, within this lap, 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. But I need to point out, Hyper, I've just seen the penalties. Rambo has got a 3-second penalty, which could really play into the hands of Fresh later onto the race. Obviously, it won't really matter at this current stage because Fresh is in the pole position to take this 25 points home. But that is something to consider into the latter stage of this race.
Storm Twister. He's back in the points again. P8 right now. He's got the tier coordinator in front of him, Wavy Knife. And he is closing down. He's got fresher tyres. I can confirm that. No, they're actually older, but they're the mediums. So technically disadvantage here, but he is on a good run. Now, I also want you to keep an eye out for Fresh. Now, I know he's the leader, but I've just seen he's on 13-lap-old mediums.
Yep.
I feel, and it's just a gut feeling, they might go pop near the end.
I mean, it could really happen, couldn't it? I mean, we haven't really seen. We think of real life F1. We haven't seen many tyre failures. Actually, no. And said that, I remember Danny Kvyat at the 2020 Styrian Grand Prix. I think it might be an Austrian. He had a tyre blowout here. The tyre wear in Austria is very high. He's got 6 more laps. He's going to have to do 20 laps on these mediums. I don't think he'll pit. I think he will try and firm it. Because like you say, 6 seconds now to Rambo with that 3-second penalty. So we're looking at a 9-second gap here between the front runners. It's going to be very close. I still think Rambo's got it in him. He's going to have to go about 2 seconds a lap here to really get in contention.
Nah, he's got it. Nah, he's already down 6 seconds and he's got 6 laps to go. That's going to be easy cruising for him, and that's just gaining the gap to the penalties. We're going to stay watching this battle between Wavy Knife and Storm Twister, as Wavy Knife is going to have to defend very heavily. Storm Twister going around the outside is going to definitely force Wavy Knife to put not the best exit. As now, Storm Twister going to put pedal to the metal. He's a bit too far back unless he lunges. He decides not to. Play safe than sorry.
These two going battling again. We saw these two would have two drivers that sort of qualified down towards the rear have really made amends in this race. These two, I believe Storm Twister's on slightly older tyres. I think Wavy's actually on the softs as well. Storm Twister has had very good pace throughout this whole race. I'd still back him to potentially get Wavy here. But as we look further up the field, Castro is just within DRS of Crip. These two have been very close to each other for quite some time now. Them two are battling for the final podium place. And look at Rambo, 4.5 seconds. It's only going to get closer. I think it could only be a one-way battle here.
Very much indeed. We're going to hop on to Rambo. And you know what? Let's have an on board of him because that man's just fast. He's found a rhythm. He's found a...
Oh! 3-second time penalty for Fresh. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that is massive. That makes Rambo's job slightly easier now. All he's got to do is overtake Fresh on track. Then his win will be his.
It's going to be, yeah, easy win. Here we go. We're going to, you know what? Let's watch a hot lap of Rambo and his pursuit to hunt down Fresh on these soft tyres. There's nothing about this driving style. Like, you look at the car as it goes through the first turn. Look at this. Beautiful traction. Normally you see the rear end kick out. We're going to watch it into turn 3. And just, again, watch the traction. The fresh tyres are massively helping here. So here we go. Shift down to second. And bang. Just no squirming.
Rambo looking on a very clean lap here. But I have to point out that he's only on about 10% ERS. And it's quite hard to recoup your energy around it because of the sheer amount of straight we see in Austria. A lot of people picking up penalties. I saw Storm Twister picking up a penalty, battling, I'm assuming, with a wavy knife there. I'm looking at it now, Hyper. 4 laps to go. It's a 3-second gap. I mean, unless Rambo really pulls some out of the bag, I still think Fresh has a very good opportunity. It's 3 seconds. Honestly, this could go down to the wire here.
It could go down to a last lap battle, and I'm down for that. I am 100% down for that. Bit further back, I just want to quickly make a point. Daguna is battling. He's split. No, he's basically gone behind Wavy Knife. So Wavy Knife has got past Daguna. Now Storm Twister is making his move onto Daguna, who decided to opt for those softs. It's not worked out for him. So that split has now been cured. And once again, Storm Twister can go and fight off Wavy Knife. Back to the front.
Yeah, now 2.3 seconds. So he is making headways. He is gaining time. I believe when I last commentated, it was only about halfway. Well, it's only been about 30 seconds since that. So he is gaining rapidly on Fresh. He's just got to get in that DRS. I think once he is in that DRS, his job is going to be very straightforward. It's at the point now with Fresh, with 17 lap old mediums, they are really going to fall off a cliff. I mean, Rambo's tyres aren't particularly fresh anymore, but he should still have the pace advantage. And we've seen how quick he is around here. We saw it in qualifying. We've seen it in the race. Oh, I'm so excited for this last lap. I think it could go either way.
I think he's got a couple of laps to make this move, but I think it's going to be dead easy for Rambo. You can already see he's in the same frame on screen. If you just follow the Fresh, you'll see then coming up in the background. There he is. There's Fresh. There's Rambo. Driving past now. So close. Only 1.6 seconds behind. And it's close. It's close, but it's going to be through the second and third sector. We're really going to see them see Rambo gain a lot of time because of the grip and traction.
Well, yeah, like you say, I mean, as I just said a minute ago, it's 2.5. Rambo has gained over a second in a lap, so he's very much there. He's only 3 tenths away, and you'd like to think by the end of this lap, Rambo will be well in DRS range, and potentially he makes a move on the penultimate lap before the end, not risking any sort of sends into the last couple of corners of the actual race. And look at it now, 1.1 seconds. Is he going to be within? I believe he might just be out. Oh, it's going to be tight. Has he got DRS? Not on this occasion. However, I think he's going to have it for the next straight.
Well, he's got 2 laps to take back the lead. Fresh deciding to go for those medium tyres, eking them out. Is that going to be enough to hold the win? You can already see Fresh is weaving. He's trying to break the toe. He knows that he is in critical mode, fighting against Rambo. Rambo with a far superior exit. He's already closing the gap. Fresh weaving as much as he can within regulation. He is holding him off for this lap. He has got to hold him off through these corners because we know Rambo is stupidly fast. He might be cheeky and go for a lunge in one of these corners. I don't think so. He might save it for the straights. As we head round turn 7 through turn 8. We've been building up to this and it is going to happen. You can see Rambo, he was looking for turn 9 overtake. Decides against it. He's gonna now get the DRS finally. And already he's going to make a move on the exit. He's already got the traction. He's already got the speed. And Fresh just needs to hold off that little bit longer. It is the final lap. Final lap of the race. What can Fresh do to fend off this charging Aston Martin? The little bit of breaking toe. Rambo still doesn't have the straight line speed. Yes, he does. Round the outside? Question mark. Holding it still. Again, Fresh is pushing him completely wide. But Rambo finally gets it. It will be Rambo's for the taking. No, I lie. The camera is not giving us good accuracy. Where is this Haas? It's side by side, but eventually the Haas has to yield at some point. And there we are going to see Rambo take the lead and take the win of the Austrian Grand Prix. What a run from the Alfa Romeo Aston Martin driver.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for Fresh. He went bold with that strategy. Could have gone on to the Haas. Would it have paid dividends? We're not sure. But take it away, Hyper. Rambo's about to win this race.
There you go. Austrian Grand Prix goes to Rambo. followed by Fresh, then Cryptic. Wow, we didn't really talk about him, but Cryptic making a brilliant race for himself, holding back young Castro, and then the commodity behind. Oh, I got channel up.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. Well, what a race. My first commentating experience, I have to say, the battles that we saw in the midfield, in sort of the sort of middle part of the race, and at the end between two fantastic drivers in Rambo and Fresh on different strategies was immense. And as we saw, Chase just finished 3 tenths behind Crypt as well. He'll be frustrated to not get him. But talk about young Castro as well. Suddenly, I'm not really sure where he started, but he's finished in P3. I'm sure he'll be very pleased with that. And a quick mention to Basics Freak. He was on pole. I said, could he get back into the points? Unfortunately for him, he just missed out. He finished P11. But for Rambo, what a race.
What a race indeed. And put who you think it was driver of the day. The game thought it was Wavy Knife, of which Wavy Knife did an absolutely brilliant job starting from the back of the grid. But there is your winner stepping onto the podium. It's just phenomenal. And to be honest, yeah, the front wasn't the most interesting area, and it really wasn't in terms of battling. But when it came to the action, it was the mid-pack that really stepped up that game. And it all started from just a small error, and that's all it takes. And you see this in every tier. A small error, and bang. These guys are so equal, they will just capitalize on any moment.
Exactly. Rambo, to be fair to him, kept pumping in consistent lap times. Look, in the end, he got the fastest lap by quite a distance in the end. Makes sense because he was on the soft. But as you say, them mistakes. Look at Basic Freak, finishing down in P11 from pole. You look at Callum, started 6th, didn't finish. Viper started 5th, didn't finish. But yeah, very, very entertaining race. Rambo, considering he started 3rd, he'll be very delighted with that. On that 2-stop strategy, he went bold, and it's paid off for him.
Absolutely, and well done to him indeed. Well, that was Austria. What an exciting track it is. Always is exciting, both IRL and in the esports scene. Next week, we're going to be heading to the lovely lands of the Netherlands under the Dutch fans, where I wish we had the atmosphere of the Dutch fans, but unfortunately we don't get the realism like that in game. I'm looking forward to seeing how that unfolds, because Netherlands is a similar, I wouldn't say similar, but it's got properties that are similar to Austria.
Yes, indeed. Netherlands should be a very fun one. Oh, sorry. If we saw, off the basis of what we saw tonight, some very entertaining racing. Austria doesn't disappoint, does it? But yeah, going to Zandvoort, we know it might not be the best track for overtaking. For qualifying, it's going to be up there in terms of the races we see this season. But yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a fun one.
Absolutely. So stay tuned next week. As I said, we'll be having the Austrian Grand Prix, but don't worry, the races are not over. On our main channel of WOR Online, we will have more tiers racing it out to try and be champion in Austria. Then on Sunday, we'll have the PC tier heading for their battles in Netherlands, where the professionals will battle it out. And then, of course, as I said, next week, it will be then tier 10 fighting it out in the Netherlands. I've been Hyperactive, and what an amazing race. Joe, anything to end this?
I want to say thanks for having me on. Yeah, really enjoyed it as my first experience. I hope you did as well, Hyper. Even though we had a little blip in the start of the first few laps of the race, we got through it, and in the end we saw a great battle. Yeah, thanks.
Yep, and that, to sum it up, what a race, what a battle, what a midfield pack that is. Definitely gonna stay with us for a hot while. And as I said, stay tuned next week, because the action will just keep going.